If Machiavelli lived today, how would he win elections? People want to believe that elections are fair because it gives them the feeling that control is in their hands. But if Machiavelli were alive today, the first thing he would understand is this: elections are not a contest of truth, but a contest of perception. And the one who controls perception determines the outcome. Machiavelli was not just a ruthless figure as people think. He was someone who accepted human nature. Most people are less rational than they believe, but far more predictable than they assume. They act on fears. They decide through habits. And most importantly, they believe in the stories they are told. If Machiavelli wanted to win an election today, the first thing he would do wouldn't be to explain his policies. Because people don't understand policies. They feel. So first, he would create a story. But this wouldn't be an ordinary story. It would be a story that confirms what people already want to believe. Because the most powerful lies are not the ones that are completely fabricated, but the ones that make small adjustments to what is already believed. Machiavelli would know this. Convincing someone from scratch is difficult, but guiding someone who is already half convinced is very easy. Then he would divide people into two groups. Always, because unity creates power. But a divided crowd can be controlled. Us and them. That's simple. But this division is far more powerful than you think. Because when a person sees themselves as part of a group, they no longer think like an individual. They defend, they attack, and they stop questioning. Machiavelli would use this. He wouldn't just offer people a leader, but an identity. You're not one of them. You're one of us. And at that point, the election would no longer be a choice. It would turn into a war. Machiavelli understood this very well. People don't choose what is right, they choose what makes them feel good. So he wouldn't present facts. He would shape them. In the modern world, his most powerful tool would be social media. But not just to post like everyone else, to control. He would build perception step by step. Not all at once, but slowly, unnoticed. He would start with small things, simple ideas, easily accepted thoughts. Then he would repeat them, again, again, and again, because people believe what they hear the most. After a while, people would begin to think these ideas were their own, and that's the moment the game is won. But Machiavelli wouldn't stop there. To win an election, support alone is not enough. Your opponents must also be weakened. But he wouldn't do this openly, because open attacks create backlash. Instead, he would plant doubt, small but unsettling questions. Can you really trust him? Have you ever wondered why he acts this way? He wouldn't give answers. There's no need. The human mind loves to fill in the gaps. And most of the time, it fills them with the worst possibilities. Machiavelli knew this. The moment you place doubt in someone's mind, you let them destroy it themselves. And the most dangerous part? People think these are their own ideas. Then he would use fear. But not big fears. Small, constant nagging fears. Because big fears paralyze people, but small fears guide them. What happens if we lose? What if everything gets worse? These questions are more powerful than answers, because uncertainty is the greatest fear of all. Machiavelli would use it like a weapon. And then he would give hope, but not real hope, controlled hope, just enough, so people don't fall into complete despair. Because a person with no hope doesn't fight. But a person with a little hope believes anything. For Machiavelli, elections wouldn't be won at the ballot box. They would be won in the mind. By the time election day arrived, people would have already made their decision. But here's the most interesting part. They would think that decision was their own. This is where real power begins. Forcing someone is not power. Convincing someone to willingly do what you want, that is real power. If Machiavelli were alive today, perhaps the most dangerous thing about him would be this. He wouldn't be noticed, because he wouldn't shout. He wouldn't show himself. He wouldn't make it obvious. He would simply, slowly, silently, shape people's thoughts. And while people believe they are making their own choices, in reality, they would have already been chosen. Now ask yourself this. Are you really the one choosing? Or are you being taught what to choose? And more importantly, if Machiavelli were alive today, would you even notice?